Hello everyone, it's Michelle Lloyd here, founder of United Art Space. I hope you're all well. I forgot to put a title at the top. I'm going to do a little mind map with you today. I'm going to keep this one short. So what I'm going to do is, I can see some of you struggling with processing all this information. You know, when we start doing the worksheets and asking questions, I'm going to find a pen and get my board out. I should have done this before. So we're going to hold on, I can't see comments. Let me see where are all the comments, because I'm using my comments. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, I can see. Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Lottie. How are you all? I just realised it looks like I wear the same clothes every day, but this is my husband's little hoodie that I put on when I'm cold. Just wanted to clarify that. I've got different clothes on underneath. Thank you for your advice this morning. No problem. So yeah, I've seen some people like struggling. So I'm going to just do, this is totally unprepared. Hey Lloyd, how are you doing? Totally unprepared. So I'm going to get my board out. And we're going to do a little mind map. Just to show you how I process information. Now, there are definitely ways to do mind maps properly. And in fact, someone came in once, it was Vicky, a friend of mine, to show us how to do mind maps properly. I'll just see if I can dig that video out. Because you can colour them, add images and all sorts of great things, but I'm just going to do basic mind map today. Hello, Tina. So let me just choose someone from the group to use as an example. Now, there's two people. One person that I saw yesterday, so I said that I would use them as an example. Let me just share my screen before I start my mapping. Hold on, sorry, I just need to shut a few things down. People who know me, I have a million windows open. Right, you should be able to see my screen now. So we're looking at Kate. Is Kate on with us? Yes, she is. Good morning, Kate. So Kate, this is her chosen one. So this is the one I chose. I'm struggling with the who, my story. He just makes me smile. I love painting him as it took me away from the everyday stresses. Any ideas? Now, there was also different pieces. Now, I did have that post saved. Now, you'd got also, so this is obviously a dog. There was another one of a dog. Oh my gosh, I've got to try and find that one. Let me just flip my screen back round. Whilst I just look for this other image that Kate had done. So that's her chosen one. But we're going to start putting all these things into context a little bit now with other pieces. Because we're moving now into, you know, these collections that I've been talking about. If you haven't done the latest workshop yet, you won't know what I'm talking about. So go and watch that workshop. Workshop 3. Where I start to talk about your work in collections. Kate, let me just find, here we go. Right, okay, so I'll do a little mind map in a second. So here we are. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Oh, my ball's just dropped. So that's a kind of blurred image, but we can see that's a monkey. And then we've got this beautiful rabbit. So we can see her artistic voice is very expressive, illustrative, splashy. I like it. This was a commission that she'd done, which to me is moving away from this kind of voice, but it's still kind of watercolour. This one, oh my gosh, I adore this. It's so cute. I really like the composition of this one, Kate. Absolutely adore the composition of this and all this negative space. Beautifully composed, really nice. And I also just love that expression, the simplicity of it, the mark making. It's lovely. I really, really like that. So to me, this voice, this is a little bit different. It hasn't got so much expression, and that line work is really confident. None is right or wrong. I'm just pointing out differences now that I'm spotting. And this to me has that expressive quality, the line the lines, the nice wibbly wobbly lines. And this one's too hard for me to tell. So Kate, let's just go back to the screen now. So you've got this beautiful expressive. I'm going to start mind mapping. So when we start to mind map what we've been looking at so far, there's the why, there's the what, and then we're starting to think about the who, and we also want to think about the purpose. Now, Kate said that she's sorry, the light's reflecting off that board. There we go, it's better. Now, Kate said that she just likes the animals. And sometimes it's like peeling the layers off an onion when you're digging into all of this stuff. Sometimes the answers are the top layer, and that's the top layer of your onion, Kate. And there's a reason deeper down for this that you just don't realise, I promise you. And there is in all of us. There will be something deeper inside of this. It could be childhood memories. It could be the feeling you have when you interact with animals. There's something more. And so we won't go deep into that, but just know that there always is. There always is. With the why, it goes deeper with everyone. And if you're struggling with the why, just know the answers are there. You just haven't dug them out yet. So then when we start to look at Kate's work, at what it actually is, we've just started describing it. It's expressive, and the paintwork is loose, it's watery, watercolours, it has an energy, and that dog is cute. I think so. These are subjective, some of these things now, because when we start looking at the what, these parts, the expressive, loose, the watercolour, we're stating kind of more objective. But when we start to say words like cute, that's my interpretation of the work. And this style is another term is illustrative. Okay, so we're starting to describe what we're seeing. And that small piece with the dog in this corner, now when we start to think about the purpose, what I liked yesterday was people were starting to look at Kate's work. And by the very nature of when you start to look at what it is, people start to then either link it to who or they link it to a purpose. So when we start to go, oh, your work looks very illustrative, it would look great in a book, it would be great. There was lots of different people starting to come out with, the purpose, that's these things now, the book. And it would just make nice wall art. So these small pieces, that lovely little piece that you did that was framed with that dog, I see those being a collection. If I was to buy those, I'd like 3 of them. This is why when we start thinking about collections, it's important to think that, sometimes people don't just want to buy one piece. Maybe they want 6 pieces that all complement each other. So you're now thinking about the purpose. If you're going to create it as a wall art, maybe people want 6 pieces that all sit together. If you were going to go down the illustrative book route, then maybe you want different animals. And then so when you start to think about your why, you've got the monkey, this is what it is, the monkey, the dog. So when you start to think about these in collections, so you're thinking, so we're looking at your work, so the dogs, obviously the dogs all go together, but animals go together in the broadest sense. It could be that you're depicting cute animals in this is now digging back into your why. Animals that are cheeky or cute or something like that. I don't know. And your voice, your artistic voice, I think it's really nice. I really like the way that's going, and that will give you that identity. So it's now just thinking about the purpose, and then when you start to think about the direction you would like to go in, so would you like to see these on the wall and sell them as individual pieces, maybe as prints, or expand on that. So when you're starting to build out your collection now, which is what I would suggest you do, just start to really think now about the purpose. So all you've got to do now, Kate, all you've got to do, I make it sound so easy, is just dig deeper on all of this now. When you start to then think about your purpose, you then start to think about the who. So if these were going to go into books, the who becomes book authors. So you want to collaborate with an author in some way and bring these illustrations to life. Maybe you would sell these illustrations and collaborate with a magazine, a dog magazine or something like that, or collaborate with a dog charity and be on their calendars. So then you think about charities. So you start to think about the purpose, and then who does that become? And what you'd start doing is just mind mapping all of this, so you're not sitting with it inside your head. If you were thinking about selling them, and maybe you don't want to do the illustration thing, you don't really see them being in a book, it doesn't really, you actually just love framing them. And by the way, you can do both, but like I was saying yesterday, we sometimes just take that first step on the ladder and concentrate on something. You start to think about, well, what kind of people want these beautiful, cute little dogs in these frames? And when you start to have a look at other artists that have that similar voice as you start looking at where they're putting their work. Who's interested? Where are the people that are buying these things? And actually, this style I've seen work really well at nice. There's certain type of art fairs. There's a friend of mine who, I've got a few friends actually, and they like nice tea towels and what's that brand? It's like the Orla Keeley tea towel, and they have all this kind of artwork on their wall, and you start to get a sense that it's a certain type of person that likes that nice expressive watercolour style art. The more you just dig into all of this. So when you start mind mapping then, when you start thinking about the who and the purpose, just start circling. So it's kind of like get everything out of your head and then start circling the main things that feel attractive to you right now. some things will scare the life out of you, and you just think, I have no idea about that. That is just too way out of my comfort zone. But just make a note of it. If people advise you, the more you start putting your work out now, you'll get comments and advice, and people will say, try this, try that. When you get those tidbits of advice, write them on your mind map. So have a mind map that's ever evolving. When you get people advise you and give you little snippets, if people describe your work in a certain way, keep coming back to your mind map and adding that on. Someone said today that it looks like expressive. Right, so I'm going to write that down. All of this is going to keep adding to your big picture, and keep adding to it, and then just circle things that really stand out. Now, like I said, you can do mind maps in any way. There's digital ways that you can do mind maps. There's free apps, and just look at that now. That's looking a bit overwhelming. So there are less overwhelming ways to do mind maps on paper, and you use colour-coded lines and you make them all beautiful. You can do them digitally, like I said, with a free app. But they really start to help. Like now, I've started to go, so book over here, this links with this. You can start to make connections, and when you see the big picture as well, it's better than having all of this swimming around in your head or in a linear fashion. So Kate's saying, I do sell art, but only at markets and coffee shops, which is fine because, sometimes that's where it all starts and you grow. It's like the tree. Remember I was saying about the tree? So, and I sell originals, but maybe I should go down the print route. Well, I think we've had many people join our hub, Kate, and go down the print route because what you're selling and what you'll find is you've got popular pieces. So that little dog is so cute. I really like that. And so, more than one person probably want to buy that. So, having a print run and do a limited edition print of that piece, and you sell the same thing over and over again and making money off the same piece instead of just, it's like the example I gave with Drew Brophy. If you sell that one original piece and it's gone, then that's it. You don't make any more money off it unless you retain the rights and you do a print run. And then the original becomes much more expensive then. So your originals should be much more expensive and your prints are more affordable. So that's the direction now, Kate, you could go in, is starting to sell the prints at the markets and the coffee shops, and your premium ones, maybe they start to go into the art fairs, the original ones. See, thank you, I like him, it was just a quick sketch. See, and isn't it amazing? Because I'm pretty sure that little sketch could make you a bit of money if you print. And do a little series of them. And this is the thing, think about this. Sometimes people don't just want to buy one piece, they want to buy a few pieces. And quite frankly, many people want to buy a few pieces. So especially if they bought once from you, they're very highly likely to come and buy from you again because they like that kind of voice. So people, when they buy art, like to compliment the art that they've got. I've done it, I've got pieces, I buy one, and then like a year later, I'm like, actually, I want to buy another piece that's going to sit with this. And you tend to go back to the same artist again and have a look. And there's a statistic that it's something crazy like once someone's bought from you, they're 70% likely to buy from you again because they've got that connection, that relationship. So, yeah. So I'm just going to flip my screen around before I go and just choose one more person as an example, which I just saw quickly this morning. Where is it? It's just the one. Okay, I haven't had a chance to read this one properly yet, so This is Anna. So I really relate to what some of the others have said about struggling to narrow down a piece of work, and I think I'm very much at the why stage and a long way off even the what. I'm hoping for any feedback or advice. The work I have done in the past few years has ranged from printmaking to more illustrative work to trying more fine art, but without much technique. I love nature, folk art stories, the wild, dogs too, but I'm all over the place. I am thinking of doing folk tales week on Instagram. I love the sound of that. And maybe I'm just going round in circles. So when I look at your work, Anna, I can see collections going on here. This, oh my gosh, how beautiful. Come away, human child, to the water and the wild. Now, these are beautiful. So let me just step back a minute so we can see them all together. These, 1, 2, 3, 4 belong together. So we can see there's a narrative here, that relationship between a human and an animal, and this, oh my gosh, that bird and the significance of that bird and the insignificance of us, and I love it. I love this narrative. It's really, really striking, powerful. So they're telling a story, and then the dogs, gorgeous, but these are different. So to me, and that's very, very different, although it's the same kind of, because it's, I guess, monochromatic. But these are also lovely, but different story. Maybe that's what you have to tell me, Anna, whether there's a different story. So to me, these are sitting in a narrative together. Oh my gosh, I love your trees. I've got all those lovely little squiggly patterns. Oh, so nice. And these have a different narrative to me. But so I would then, if you're struggling to choose a piece, then split your work down into collections now. So these together, your dogs together, and start to mind map, like I've just suggested. Start to mind map your why, and the what, the purpose, the who, and just start to throw around ideas. Start to just get ideas out. Start to ask people. But beautiful, beautiful work. Love it. So hopefully that's helped. I just wanted to show you just the process of mind mapping all your thoughts now, and the people's comments. Don't let those other people's comments slip. They're really important. Other people's views and opinions and wording and descriptions can really give you some insight. So start capturing all of that in mind maps. Kate saying, very thought-provoking, thank you. My head is teeming with ideas, really appreciate your help, you're welcome. Hello Kelly, good evening from Australia. So yes, right, so I'm going to head, I'm going to keep this one nice and short for people watching the replays. So that's a little taster of just processing these ideas, parking it somewhere. Like if you've got a sketchbook, start just mind mapping now in your sketchbook these areas, because the worksheets, although they're great for getting the juices flowing and writing and pouring things out, the next stage then in ordering thoughts, mind mapping is just the best, honestly the best way to get that big overview and start making relationships and connections. And if you feel like you've only got one branch coming off one of your mind maps, then you know you've got to dig a bit deeper on that. But don't force it. Don't put pressure on yourself like, oh my God, I don't know why. Just know that, okay, I don't have many ideas coming off this one. So, and there will be, there should be loads flying off each of these. That's the aim, is to get loads of ideas and then start circling them and extracting them, because you can't, when you get lots of ideas on purpose and who, you can't do everything. It's great to have all the ideas flowing, the next step then is to choose, right, I kind of like this idea of my work being put into a book. I really like that idea. So I'm going to spend some time now exploring that. How would that even work? Who do I need to speak to? How do I get this out there? If it's, I really like the idea of these being on people's wall, and I kind of like the idea of selling 6 of them in one go. So what do I need to do now? Maybe I need to create more pieces because I need to expand on this collection. So do you see where this is going? So doing your little mind maps all together, seeing where the gaps are, where you've got lots and lots of things going on, circle the main things so that you're not overwhelmed, and extract them out and park the mind maps till you need them again. Oh, Anna's on. Brilliant. Oh, Anna, your work, everyone's work is amazing. I have to say, I'm not just saying this to make you feel better and to feed your ego. I truly, truly believe it. I literally see uniqueness and something in each and every single one of you in so many different ways as well. It blows my mind. The voice and the reason for making is different in everyone's purpose is different, everyone's voice is different, the direction you all will go in, there might be some similarities but completely different, and it's so exciting that everyone has got their own little journey, and just know that you know you can start to piece all of this together. Anna, well done. And yeah, think about your why, because especially those pieces, you know, the interaction with animal and human and that vulnerability, you know, oh my gosh. See, I was supposed to be going, but I just can't stop talking about this stuff because I love it. It's like there's a real vulnerability, and, you know, digging into that, what as well, describing, again, relates to why people would connect with this. Because when you see these, they tell a really, really big story, and they're very, very powerful and very emotive. They make me feel really emotional, really emotional. And it's digging into that, and this makes me feel very emotional. It's just like that moment. We've got a dog, he's getting older now, and this for a different reason. It's like that moment when you're in the forest and you're having that. See, I'm talking subjectively. Everyone will look at these and have their own different interpretation. But really, really digging into that, you just unearth the story so that you can start to really connect with, okay, who else is going to feel like I do now about these? And then also, you'll probably pull out a collection. This is the other thing someone was saying, that by doing the 7 keys, what they're starting to realise now is that, yeah, they've got to work on a collection because they've got something inside of them that they want to express, and there's a deeper meaning there that they had no idea about. So they're going to start to expand on this now, and with the who in mind. So it's so exciting. So Anne says, thank you. I have plenty of thoughts to write down now. Enjoy your day. Yes, I'm going to go. Just one last comment. I'm drawn to mythical mermaids, etc. But I'm also drawn to building and architecture. I'm not sure which I'm better at producing. Which one? So whenever I'm at a kind of crossroads, shall we say, like that, because they're very, very different. You know, I don't think there's any way you can link them. There might be, but if there isn't, and they're two very different things, then whenever I'm at a crossroads like that, I choose the main one. The main one that I'm going to focus on for the next 90 days is the mermaids and the mythical. And either park the building and architecture, or you spend 20% of your time still dabbling with that one, but you give the majority of your time to the other. so that you can really, really immerse yourself in the depths of that. Just like when we're talking now, when you start to narrow down on your art, oh my gosh, it's exciting because you start to go deeper on it. You'll take your sketchbook, you'll start to see things everywhere. It's that red car analogy where focus goes, energy flows. And when you start to really focus down on that passion that you have, you start to see it everywhere. You'll go out and you'll see other artworks, you'll see inspiration and shapes that remind you of the tales or whatever, or and you'll be snapping away. And this is the gold that comes from narrowing down. And people often think that they're going to limit themselves and they'll get bored. It's the opposite. It really is. It opens up so many more doors and depth, and that's when you get really good at your art and your craft, because you're seeing things that other people do not see, because you're honing in on something, and you delve in on a much deeper level. So that's what comes from focusing for a short period of time. And I don't think you know until you do it. You don't know until you go for it. It's that thing of, when you're sitting in your head asking you the question, it's like, well, it could be that one, it could be that one, who knows? Until you do it and you start feeling it. And then, if you start to really miss the other one, and then flip it over. So after you've given it a good go, if you start to think, I'm bored of this, then flip it over and give the other one the majority of your time, and then flip the other one to 20% of your time. But it's important that you stick to it for a while. So I would do that. Kate's never thought about a collection and she's excited. Why? I'm excited for you. It's silly. It's not silly. It's simple little things. That's what I meant to say. Simple little things that quite often we don't know when we're in the rabbit hole of making. We don't know this stuff. But yeah, it should be exciting, Kate. You're right, because when you're building a collection, it's like, this is my voice. This is what I'm standing for. This work is going to sit together. It means something, and there's a relationship, and it gets you excited, and that's what you want to do. You want to fuel that passion, and then you start churning out work. And so, yeah, it's good. And know that you'll get to the end of a collection, and then you start to lose it again. The cycle is always going round and round for artists. You'll always be on a high, and then you go, done this now. And then you find again the inspiration. It's just the ever-evolving cycle. So, right, thanks for the social media info. I watched, I did a different post, which gave me a real insight into who was following and what they want. Amazing. Somebody else said the same, that they switched their hashtag, and they got an amazing response from just using one different hashtag instead of attracting artists all the time. He says, I haven't felt excited about my art for a long time, and I'm really buzzing at the moment with all this exploration. Yay! I love it. Oh man, you guys make me so happy. Right, I'm going to head now. I've got to go and got loads of work to do now. And I will speak to you all same time tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.